Hello, this is the Kitchen Sink with Natalie, Natalia, and Casey.
What is going on?
I'm still yawning.
Yeah.
It is November 8th, 2018, and yesterday there was yet another mass shooting in California.
Thousand Oaks, California, 40
Yes.
miles west of LA, in a bar, which was
Having a college night, too.
Yeah.
A weekly college night. Yeah, there was 11 dead. 11 dead. It says 13 people dead. I'm confused. Okay, well, according to, I think this is Pix 11 News this morning at 7:26, the dead included 11 people inside the bar, the gunman, and a sheriff sergeant who was the first officer inside the door.
I heard he was close to retirement, too.
I heard he was a 28-year-old vet with PTSD.
Oh.
That opened fire.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's new, because this morning they had no idea who he was.
No, he was a vet. He was a vet.
Goddamn. And it was yesterday at like 11:20, at like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people got out through like windows and things like that. Like I heard it on the radio when I was driving here in the morning, and the story that they were telling, it was a girl. She was in the bar. They heard the sounds. Everyone started ducking, and then she heard glass breaking, and it was like guys throwing chairs at windows and like throwing them out.
That's smart,
there.
though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because there was obviously only one exit,
Yeah.
and another kid was like near the entrance when it happened, and like he just ran out, and like. Yeah, they say, at least this morning, they didn't know how the gunman died, and they don't know his motive. So
I think it's just some trigger.
just some other crazy person.
I don't know. I mean, like,
it could be like some trigger thing. We don't know, though.
Yeah.
How could we know?
there's a few things that could have happened.
Yeah.
He could have, one, like, been on duty or something, because sometimes, like, if you're a probation officer or, like, a police officer, like, you have your gun on you, and like a lot of vets go into like, you know, police officer, probation officer. So A, it could have been like lots of commotion, then he pulled his gun out and started shooting. B, it could have been just like he was a random guy who had a gun. C, it could have been just like, I don't know, like with a case like this, you just don't know, like you don't know why or how. All they know is he was a 28-year-old veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder who got triggered and opened fire. So.
That last article was actually from the Associated Press. This one is from Pix 11. And then when I was reading this part, it like stood out to me. It said just somebody from like Thousand Oaks. They said that it had been quite some time since there was any type of shooting. And I was just like, just the fact that we can say these statements, just like, oh, it's been a while since our last shooting. Like, that's so problematic. Like, you shouldn't have to say that. It shouldn't have been a while. It shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have happened. Yeah. And like, there's a mass shooting last week in where was it?
It's hard to keep track now. Like, they're not even.
That's
the worst part.
The anti-Semitism one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
My best friend's dad grew up in that area, and they're like a Jewish family.
Yeah.
So like it was very heartbreaking to see.
Yeah. I think this is from the Washington Post, and it says the tally began in August 1966 up until February 2017, and it looked at like 157 shootings and the way that they categorize it, mass shooting, is if 4 or more people were killed, and it was only one guy. And it said that the numbers were 1,123 people killed. And then the way this article sets it up, which is devastating, is it kind of shows you, like, it has pictures of 123 people, and it goes over more than one page. And it's 2 pages now. And it tells you the youngest victim of one of these mass shootings, and this was just heartbreaking. The youngest victim was an 8-month-old baby, Carlos Reyes, buried with his mother.
I can't even hear that.
That is devastating.
You know, there's just like so much talk of change and stuff like that, but nothing's changing. Like, nothing's happening to solve like what's going on. And like it doesn't matter if it's like more gun control, no guns at all. Like, the government, like, these shootings are happening. Like, do shootings have to happen every single week for, you know, like, the government to make a change? Like, I just don't know. Like, they say like more gun control, but like that's
We're not
Still,
getting
it's
any.
still not. And like, does someone important have to die for like
Literally.
someone to like change? Does someone like does a president have to get assassinated for like someone have to change this? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand like the ethics behind it, and like people in our country.
It's
are
like a
suffering.
truly American problem. Like
It
even
really
my
is.
dad was talking like about DR, and like they have this big scandal going on there now, but like it was like a vicious murder of like a man trying to like do an abortion like by himself, and then he ended up killing her, and it was like vicious. He put her in a suitcase. It was disgusting. And my dad goes, you see, he was just like in DR it's worse. And I was just like, it is worse in the way like how they kill people, but like here, just like the volume of how our people die,
It's been so many.
it's ridiculous. And it's just, I was
It's
like,
been
this isn't an
so
issue
many.
anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Like I think it was a few years ago. Have you ever heard of Jim Jeffries? He's a comedian. He's from Australia, and he was talking about it.
How Australia has no.
Yeah, I think I have the code here. He was just like, in Australia, we had the biggest massacre on earth, and the Australian government went, that's it, no more guns. And we all went, yeah, all right, then that seems fair. And then he goes, now in America, you had the Sandy Hook massacre where little tiny children died, and your government meant, maybe we get rid of the big guns, and 50% of you went, no, don't take my guns. And like, that's just Americans being stubborn.
Like when you used to think of shootings, you would just think like, oh, Columbine, Sandy Hook. But now
Yeah.
it's like Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, California.
And California has the most mass shootings of
Portland,
any
like-
state in the U.S.
Yeah. And
Like-
like you think,
There's a
how,
list.
like,
It goes
there's
on
a
and
list
on.
where I can't even name like, I could probably name 5 off the top of my head. Then there's like 20 more.
Yeah. There's never going to be enough. It's ridiculous. I remember I was on vacation. I went on a cruise. When I came back, there had been like 2 shootings. And I was like, I get off the grid for like 5 days, guys. Like, hold on. I cannot keep track of it. It's
I just don't know.
ridiculous.
Like how many like times does it have to happen in order for something to
Yeah.
change,
We
And like
really
the point
have
with
to lose
Australia
someone
is like
significant.
mass shooting. Okay. No more guns.
Yeah.
Fair.
We really have to lose someone significant for it to really be effective,
hmm
Yeah.
and for someone
Even
actually,
when
for somebody
presidents
actually-
were assassinated, they were like, nope, keep our guns.
Yeah.
yeah,
That like Second Amendment right thing. And I think
that's equal.
out of all the guns, most of them were legally obtained.
Mhm.
Where is it? There's another section here about guns in the Washington Post article. Oh, it says 174 of mass shooters' weapons were obtained legally out of the 304 that were used for those 157 shootings. And then it says 52 were obtained illegally, and then the other 78, like they just don't have the information of how those were acquired. Also with those 157 shootings, the numbers that go into like the people that were killed, it was 1,123, and 185 were children and teenagers.
Wow.
So, and then that doesn't even count people that were like just injured, like on
So
the sidelines
awful.
and things like that.
Wow.
So those numbers are
It just gets you
ridiculous.
thinking,
Yeah. Just
Like,
like
we shouldn't have guns.
Did you guys go to the Week of the Peacemaker?
No.
no.
I went to the Child and Family Separation one.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was, I think Dr. Nakvi, a great woman, British accent,
Mhm.
phenomenal presentation. And she presented, the psychology of like how these children from the Northern Triangle, which is like Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador, like are being detained in these like detention centers for because I think it's like the Flores settlement of like 1997. They can't be detained more than 20 days. But Trump actually wants to like repeal this settlement that they can be detained longer. And he thinks this will like stop immigration altogether.
I don't know what people
Along
think
with-
detaining is going to do.
Along with this, he wants to repeal the 14th Amendment that abolishes birthright citizenship.
Oh,
That's
right.
Possible. You can't do that.
He can't do that, but he wanted to make I don't think the Congress or the Senate are going to let him.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
He
No.
wanted to basically establish an executive order to end birthright citizenship.
Yeah. Like,
But like, if your parents are undocumented and you're born in the United States,
mhm.
that makes you a citizen, and that makes you like able to help them obtain
Yeah.
and like get a better life. Like, are you not a citizen of America if you were born
Yeah.
in America?
Just because your
Like, and
parents
I
were it. It
understand
doesn't
if-
make any sense.
I can understand if like you were born somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
and then you came to America legally,
Yes.
even if you came legally or
But there's a reason
illegally,
we came up with that amendment, because it makes
Yeah.
sense.
it makes sense.
We can't argue with
that's like
sense.
saying, like-
somehow we've managed to.
That's like basically saying if you. I'm trying to find like a good metaphor for this. It's like if
gonna be
you
tough.
are. I don't like I know it's just so ridiculous. I can't
Yeah.
even like think of it. Yeah. So basically, the presentation was like presenting how the psychology of children who are being detained literally just like can cause like PTSD, toxic stress, like mental disorders, psychological disorders from just being detained like up to 20 days. Being separated from your family and being in this scary looking detention center that looks like a jail, that looks like a concentration camp, that looks like a Japanese internment camp. So it was just insane. Like it was crazy to see. I wrote a paper about it after, and you know, she said something interesting. It was like, don't look for an antidote, just don't do it. So basically, like, don't look for a solution to help these children after being detained. Just don't detain them. You know,
You created
and
the problem.
that really stuck with me, like for a bunch of things. But yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's still going on. There's a lot of cool presentations. The theme is immigration.
Yeah. It's for sure still happening.
A lot of seminars going on. Super fun. Super woke.
Well,
This is a sad way to end.
Yeah, I don't know why we keep ending like this. Last week we ended on politics as well,
Yeah.
and these are. I mean,
We should redo it. We
yeah,
should flip it. Put
yeah.
the
We
sad
should
part
start with
first.
these things and then
Yeah.
end with like TV and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, next week we'll
We'll
take
do
that.
that.
Note. We'll take
Yeah.
that note. Okay. Bye. Have a fun week in America. Hopefully you live through it.